Dan Illman, Mike Beer, 6 stakes races, 4 graded at Aqueduct on Cigar Mile Saturday. We'll kick things off with race number 6, the Grade 3 Go for Wand Handicap, kicking off the 50-cent late pick 5. We throw up the field, Mike, and unfortunately for you, there is no show wagering in here. The 3 Spice Perfection, 3-5 on the morning line, deservedly so. This horse, a Grade 1 winner sprinting today. I guess the major question mark concerning Spice Perfection is the mile. She's going to have to stretch out, but it's a one-turn mile, and this race shape might really suit her.
Yeah, I mean, even if you are concerned about the mile, and I guess at 3-5 on the morning line, Dan, I guess you kind of have to be concerned about the mile because it's sort of the only thing that could get you to maybe really take a big stand against this horse. She just looks maybe like she's a little bit better than these horses. A dual Grade 1 winner since Peter Miller has taken over, and she just looks like she's as loose as she can be on the lead.
Yeah, no doubt that she's the class of the field, and as we see from the Timeform US pace projector, it's the rare gray bar scenario. No speed. They're expecting this pace to be glacial, and that Spice Perfection coming out of those sprint races should be able to get forward. Now, we've seen situations where Spice Perfection doesn't break very well from the gate, but given a good start, she might have a very candy situation on or near the lead. Let's talk about the one in Needs Supervision. A winner just a week ago in the Safely Kept Stakes at Laurel, going 7 furlongs. We're going to take a look at that race right now. It was her 3rd start off of a layoff. We see her in the pink silks on the outside, and she's going to run down this inferior field. She showed some ability earlier in the year, winning the Silver Bullet Day around 2 turns at the fairgrounds, and it just looks like she's running back into shape.
Yeah, I mean, she did run well in this race here. This win last Saturday just prompted her connections to supplement her to this race. So obviously they like the form that she's in. And I agree with them that this is probably that race right there, the best race that she's ever run. Just some class concerns with this horse. They've tried her twice so far in graded stakes competition, including the Raven Run 2-back, and she's just been no match for the better horses in either one of those 2 starts.
Not sure the 2 Espresso Shot really classes up with these, but wouldn't be surprised if she comes through with an improved performance, making her 2nd start since a summer layoff at Finger Lake. She really showed that she liked Aqueduct last year. Course and distance stakes winner in the Busher off a layoff last year. Last time out in the New York Stallion Series, I wonder if she just needed the race and maybe they were prepping for the Go for Wand. That being said, she's up against it from a pace and class standpoint.
Yeah, way up against it. She is clearly going to have to, just take a pretty big step forward to win this race. All in all, the New York Stallion Series race last time, I didn't think she ran poorly, Dan, but it's not like that's the kind of effort that's going to make her a major player in here. She's a big price on the line. I think she deserves to be one. I think she does have some talent. She's just got to take a big step forward in here.
Millionaire Spice Perfection, obviously the horse to beat. She ran in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint last time out, off a victory in the Grade 2 Thoroughbred Club of America, racing in which she probably had no business winning. She didn't break very well. She sort of grabbed a quarter still in that race. She was able to split horses after being in a little bit of traffic, turning into the stretch. She made a good field. I mean, Dawn the Destroy and Mere Mischief would be favorites likely in this race. The Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint, she was a little bit close to the pace. It was a very tough field.
Yeah.
She's just got a lot going for her. I know some folks might be worried about the mile. They might be worried about the dreaded Breeders' Cup bounce that affects some horses, but I can't see her leaving her out of the pick 5.
No, I mean, she's just way the horse to beat here. I actually feel like, even though I think when you watch the Breeders' Cup back, the last furlong especially, she really didn't finish that well in that race, but I thought all in all, she ran pretty well in the Breeders' Cup. That field was just a little too tough for her. This field, it just feels like it's certainly not too tough for her. She's supposed to be, if not right out on the lead, and I don't see how she's not on the lead. She's going to be right up close in here, Dan. I don't know. She's just way the horse to beat to me.
He does not have the best last buyer speed figure in the field, however. That goes to the number 4, Another Broad, who popped to 95 going 2 turns, which probably is what she wants to do in the Grade 3 Turn Back the Alarm Handicap last time out. And I'm going to have to take this off of memory because I don't believe a video replay exists of the Turn Back the Alarm Handicap. But I thought Eric Consell gave her a pretty good trip. She tracked the pace down inside. She had every chance. Golden Award's just probably a better horse than she is. But it was nice to see Another Broad take a step forward. She has always done well at Aqueduct in the past. She has won around a 1-turn mile, but against inferior competition way back. I'm just worried that she's going to get outrun early and have too much to do.
Yeah, we'll see what Cancel can do this time, if he can manage to keep her closer to the pace in this race, because it feels like he's going to have to do that. Obviously, if she runs another 95, she's a major, major player in here. I don't know, Dan. I just happen not to be a big fan.
You've never been a fan.
I've never liked her. She did certainly run fine last time. It makes her a contender. she's not my kind of horse. I'm going to stand against her because I agree with you. I think she wants to go longer than this anyway.
Saguaro Row has had a rather sort of underrated 2019. She's done some really nice things since being taken over by Michael Stidden, returning off of a long layoff. 3 wins, including the important stakes victory at Aqueduct last time out in the Pumpkin Pie, going 7 furlongs. It was a race in which there was a good pace up front, and that's really key for Saguaro Row, who is at her best as a one-run closer. We see her on the far outside right now. She's going to wear down Philanthropic, a horse that was softened up a little bit by the pace, but career best performance for Saguaro Row, another horse that has to stretch out to a 1-turn mile. I've always liked her. I've never really thought of her as a horse that was going to take down a Spice Perfection.
I mean, we'll see what happens. At least she's headed the right way. I do feel like there's a chance that she even takes another step forward in this race, but it does sort of feel like it's all about pace for her because, as you say, they've sort of settled on her being a one-run closer. When they first stepped her up into stakes competition over the summer, it felt like she was really struggling in those races, but 2 back, I thought she ran well in that Shine Again at Laurel. There was really no pace for her in there. She actually made a pretty nice run to be making them ground in there, and then you saw the race last time where it set up better for her, and she finished really well again. I think there's a chance she takes another step forward in this race.
Our Supernova's run several good races since Charlie Baker took over the reins at the beginning of this year. She's won 2 out of her last 3, just missed in the Empire Distaff behind a talented New York bred in Radikowski, and she just blew him away last time out in the New York Stallion Series. She has a nice outside post. I think that if Junior Alvarado actually wants to push the button, we're going to see her winning the New York Stallion Series here, just sweeping by this field on the far outside. She's the number 10 in this video. I think if Junior Alvarado wants to get her involved early, he can.
I think she can be up close in this race as well, and that's one of the things I like about her in here. She's just a horse I want to use, Dan, because you know, early on in her career for a prior trainer, she won 4 times, but it never really looked like she was going to be a stakes horse. I think since Charlie's taken over, she looks like maybe she does have a chance in races like this. Her last 2 efforts in particular are both very good. She did the 1-2 back going the mile from way out of it, but there was a fast pace for her. But last time she stayed closer, she won very easily. I think she's in great form right now.
Kicking off the 50-cent late pick 5. This race, I believe, part of the mandatory payout in the Empire pick 6. Let's take a look at our top selections in here. Mike's not fooling around. Spicy Perfection, single for you?
I don't know if I would single her. I don't know if I trust her that much, but she's just way the horse to beat. I'd put a lot of weight on her, that's for sure.
She is going to be your top selection. My top pick in this race, I'll give Another Broad a chance off that big fig, just simply because she's going to be a better price than Spice Perfection. I'm not throwing Spice Perfection out by any means. I'd probably use most of my eggs in the multi-race basket with her, but maybe I'll give Another Broad a chance for Pletcher and Concel. 7-2 on the morning line. Mike's going 3-6-5-4. I'm going 4-3-1-5. Grade 3, go for Wand Handicap. Kicks off the graded stakes action at the Big A on Cigar Mile Saturday. Has an approximate post of 2:09 Eastern. Best of luck.